back to another weekend episode of Cooking with Mary Sue. Before we begin, I want to remind everybody to please hit that like, subscribe, and share buttons at the bottom. And you'll find links below to my other channels, which is Gardening in the Delta, Brother Claude Reflects, and Sue's Q Knickknacks. And I'll have a link to my new website that advertises the book I wrote last year and had published called Awesome Adventures of Miss Kitty and Her Woodland Friends. You can find this book on eBay, Amazon, iTunes, and Barnes & Noble. But I also have its own website now that's titled AnimalsLiftOurSpirits.com. That website tells you about the book a little bit, and you can also buy it right off that website. They made it just as easy as possible for you to purchase it. Okay, before we begin, we are going to have another little experiment here. Last week I had y'all join me while I made lemon brownies for the first time, and they came out just absolutely delicious. Well, today I'm going to do banana bread. I've made banana bread before years ago, but it's been quite a while, and I'm going to do a test today. I'm going to make 2 banana breads, one in the air fryer and one in the oven, and I'm going to see which one comes out the best, or if they come out just the same. We'll find out. I was at the store the other day, and I came across these overripe bananas, and I thought those are just perfect for banana bread. I bought 6 of them, one for each batter, because I got to make 2 batters. And if you happen to buy bananas at the store that are not ripe, and you want to make the banana bread now, you don't want to wait a few days for them to get ripe, you can ripen them yourself. That's right, you can put them in the air fryer on 300 for 10 minutes, or in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. Just lay the whole banana on a little sheet in the oven, and it will come out just like this in about 10 minutes, and then you can use it. This is a 3-step process. First thing we're going to do is mash up the bananas. That's probably the easiest part of the whole recipe, is mashing the bananas, and the fun part. I particularly want the ends right there. I'll cut off the little ends. Got a trash can over here. These are big bananas too. I didn't think they were going to be this big, but they are. That's okay. The more banana taste they'll have in it. That's just perfect. Okay, and the last one here. I'll cut that little piece off. There it comes. Just perfect. Okay. Now I'm just going to mash these with a fork. You can use either a fork or you can use a potato masher, either one. I think a fork would do just fine because these are so soft. Yeah. Now it takes a few seconds to mash these. Yes. The riper the better. You can get them where they're just about solid black. That's the best kind to use for banana bread. Okay. There's a few different ways to make banana bread too. And I'll show you that as we go along, talk about it. Okay. Now that's ready. Now we're just going to set this aside. We'll make sure all my lumps are out. It's going to be kind of like pudding in a way. It's going to be like some nice soft banana pudding. Okay, that's nice and gooey. You want one with a nice and gooey, like there. Now almost like puree. Now we're going to mix the dry ingredients. Over here, in this little sifter, I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You might wonder why I sift it. Whenever you're using flour for baking products or making dough or cookies or some type of baked goods like cake, you usually want to sift it. That way you get all the lumps out. It's nice consistency. The texture is just fine. You don't want to bite into a cookie and come across a little lump of flour. I've done that before sometimes. When other people make cookies and there'll be little lumps in there, that's what it is, lumps of flour, because they didn't sift it. Before I sift it though, I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, Come on, Salt. Shake a little faster. There. Okay. Now that's going to sift all through there. See how fine it's coming out? Like dusting powder, sort of. There. Now, see how fine that is? Okay. Now we're going to go over here to my wet ingredients. Yeah, that's all I need for that. Make sure I don't leave anything out by accident. Now the wet ingredients. And we are going to use some spray. You got to grease your pans. You need to grease your pan with a spray or some type of butter or cooking oil, whatever. And then you need to flour it so it doesn't stick. But I've got a combination here, a little shortcut. This is a spray, if you can see it, it's for bacon and it has flour mixed into it. That's right. All I have to do is spray this and it has the flour mixed in already. What a genius idea. I wish I thought of that. Ooh, that's perfect. And I'm going to spray I want to put this one in the oven. I'm putting the little muffin tins in my air fryer. And this will be the first time I'll get to play around and use my new little silicone muffin tin that fits in the air fryer. I bought this from the same company that makes this GoWise air fryer. I bought these little accessories to go with it, a cake pan, a pizza pan, and the little muffin tins. Okay, see that spray? See the flour in it? Okay. Well, that saved me one step right there. If you don't want to use spray, you can use parchment paper in that pan if you wanted to. Okay, put that right up there for the moment. Now the wet ingredients. I've got 1 cup of brown sugar here. You can use brown sugar or white sugar, either one, it doesn't matter. I prefer the brown sugar because it makes your whatever you're cooking come out just a little more moist and soft. You want good banana bread to be moist and soft. This has been sitting out just a little bit. It's gotten soft, just a little soft. I hope it's soft enough. I think it is. Okay. I'm going to mix all this together so it gets just nice and creamy. You use a mixer with you, or a whisk, or a fork. Okay. I'm going to soften this butter in the microwave for about 10-12 seconds. But it needs to be just a little bit softer. There it is. It'll take about 10 seconds to help a little bit. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Oh, that's perfect, yeah. That's one way to soften your butter. Oh, that's nice and creamy. You see that right there? I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, that's all that one. What else? I'm going to add just a little ground cinnamon here. I'm going to add 1, maybe 2 teaspoons. I'm going to have a good flavor of cinnamon. I'll just make it a heaping teaspoon. Yeah, how about that? Just a heaping teaspoon. That's fine. 1 heaping teaspoon of vanilla, cinnamon. There's all kinds of things you can add to your banana bread before you bake it. You can put in raisins, dates. nuts, any kind of nuts like walnuts, almonds, pecans. Let me see what else. Cashews maybe. And chocolate chips, caramel chips, white chocolate. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. Mixing up just nice all together. Now for my last wet ingredient, you have a choice. You can put like a teaspoon of milk or yogurt. Yeah. But you can put milk, yogurt, sour cream, any of those 3 will work. I'm gonna go with the half cup of yogurt. Half cup of sour cream myself. I think sour cream will make it come out a little bit extra creamy and moist. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's all of that one. Let's mix it up nice. Make sure I got everything. I don't want to leave anything out by accident. Yep, I think I got all my ingredients in here. That's smelling good, that cinnamon and that brown sugar. When this finishes baking at the end, before you slice it, when you take it out, before you slice it, you need to let it sit about 15-20 minutes and let the whole loaf solidify. Because while it's cooking, the banana, as it cooks with this brown sugar or with any sugar, it caramelizes. And if you cut it too soon, it's just going to be gooey. Now we're going to add the wet ingredients to the dry. And it's kind of important you do it in that order. It's much easier for it to mix together well if you add the wet to the dry. No, I got that backwards. You add the dry to the wet. I had to think twice on that. Yeah. You're going to add the dry into the wet here. If you do it the other way, if you add the wet to the dry, it makes air pockets down in that dry part, and it just won't bake as well. And you fold it in. You're going to fold it in with a little cake scraper. And you don't want to overmix. Never overmix your dough. If you do, it'll make your banana bread come out too chewy and dense and hard. It won't be nice and soft and moist. Why? Because as it cooks in the oven, all this banana and the dough together causes gluten to develop. And the more gluten that cooks in there, the more gluten that increases in there, it makes it more dense. So you just mix enough to get it mixed together, but not overmixed. That way it stays nice and chewy, not nice and soft. You don't want it chewy, you want it soft and moist. See? Just kind of fold it in. I'm going to add the rest in a few seconds. Give this time to get settled in there. Yeah, we're not using mixer on this part. That would overmix it. Like I said, if you overmix it, comes out dense and chewy instead of soft and moist. Okay, now I can add a little bit more. I can add the rest now. There. Okay. keep stirring this flour mixture, the dry mix. Keep folding it into the wet part. Won't take too long, a couple of minutes, and then at the end we'll add the banana gooey stuff. All that banana mushed up. We'll add that in just a few seconds after we get the flour mixed in. Notice how I'm folding it over. Smells good. See there? It's coming out just nice. There's no lumps in it. It's nice and smooth. Okay. Alright. Now we're about ready to the step for the bananas, the fun part. We get to add the bananas into it. Three mashed up bananas, or if you want to say mashed up, whichever. Put my top back on before I spill that. Something can be spilled, I will spill it. Okay. Just keep folding it over until it gets all mixed together. After this is mixed up together, that would be the point where you would add in some nuts if you wanted to, or chocolate chips. Oh, I think raisins might be good here too, the raisins. Some pieces of caramel would be pretty good here too, caramel or white chocolate. Now these are going to cook in the air fryer. I'm going to throw them out on about 320 or 325. I'm going to check them in about 15-20 minutes, but we'll probably need to cook at least 30 minutes, 30 to 35. But it's better to check it halfway through so they don't overcook. Now in the oven they're going to take about 45-50 minutes, maybe an hour in the oven. And you just check it about halfway through and stick a toothpick in like you would a cake mix. If it comes out nice and clean, it's done. If it doesn't come out nice and smooth and clean, it's not done yet. Okay. One more little stir. Okay. After I make a few muffins here, I may put some of this in the air fryer cake pan. I want to make some as muffins first and see how they come out. But this is quite a bit of batter here. It's a lot. Now I've got to make another one up to go in the oven. Yeah, I think it's all mixed well enough. I don't see anything that's not mixed together. Going to fill these about 3/4 full. These are kind of small little muffin holders. They're not very big, almost about the size of mini muffins. I'm going to fill them at least 2/3 full. Now I know when this first batch comes out, that's going to be enough or not too much, or I need some more, depending on how high they swell up. This is the first time I've used this muffin tin, so I'm not positive on how full to fill it up. But I'll find out after they cook. Okay. See, this makes 7 at a time. Okay. Clean off the edges a little bit. I think I'll put a little bit more on this one over here. Okay. Smooth off my edges there. You can see those right there. I'll put that in my little air fryer here. I'll start them off with about 325 for, I'm going to go at least 20 minutes, and then I'll check them, then I'll cook them some more. I know it'll take more than that, but I want to check them halfway through. I don't want them to get overcooked or burn. I'm going to set it down about 325. 320. I don't have a 325. I have to go 320. My fryer goes up and down increments of 10. So I'm on 320. And I'm going to start out 15 minutes and I'll check it. While those are cooking, I'm going to mix up another batter to go in the oven. And this batter here will be more for the air fryer. Well, the muffin tins don't hold very much. They're very small. So that's going to make a lot of muffins. And I may put some of that, like I said, in the cake pan for the air fryer. I'll be right back as soon as I clean up. We're going to check in and see how things are doing. Here's the first little batch of muffins came out. They did cook a total of 21 minutes. I cooked them for 15, checked them, did another 6 minutes, and then I did another 5 minutes. So actually 26 minutes they cooked. 26 minutes total. And they came out just great. I did the little bitty, where'd my toothpick go to? I had a toothpick here just a few seconds ago, and I lost it. I lost my toothpick. Hold on. Here's another toothpick. I did a toothpick test. And right down the middle was the thickest. Comes out nice and clean. They're done. And that's how big they got. They did swell up way above the muffin tin. And I did fill them about almost to the top, about 3/4 full. I have enough of that batter for probably 3 more batches. This little muffin tin only makes 7 at a time. I'll do that in a little bit, but now I'm ready. I made another batch here. I didn't even let you watch me because you watched the first batch. I did it the same way. Now remember these little tips, important tips I gave you. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them. Don't overmix your batter. If you overmix it, it creates too much gluten, which makes it too dense and too chewy. You want your banana bread to be soft and moist. Always mix your dry into the wet when you're putting it together to avoid air pockets. Always sift your flour, but it also keeps lumps out of the flour out of your bacon. You don't want to bite into little lumps of flour. Let it cool before you cut it, about 15 minutes, so it won't be too gooey inside. And here's another little tidbit I thought of a while ago. If you don't have your bananas on hand, or don't have access to your bananas, you can make banana bread using 2 or 3 jars of little baby banana food. That works just perfect. It's just like this. When you mush these up, it looks just like the baby banana food. It's pureed, it's mushy, it's soft. You're fine with that. Now, I got my little tin I'm going to put in the oven. I did spray it a while ago with that flour spray. And I'm going to pour this batter into it. Remember I said you could add in stuff? Well, I don't have any. I'm not going to put nuts in. I don't want nuts in my banana bread. I like it in it sometimes, but not this time. I am going to add a few M&Ms. We're going to have some chocolate flavored. This would do just as good as using chocolate chips. They'll be colorful. Yeah, you bite into that and have banana flavor with that chocolate. Okay. All right. Now put the rest in there. May put some more on top right before I put it in the oven. Oh, that's going to fill up this pan just nice. Add a few more of these just along the top here. They may seem